Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Tuesday, everyone. On the left, Philadelphia's very own Bryce Harper. And on the right, one of the hottest hitters for the Mariners as of late, Randy Arozarena. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off for the Phillies at DH, Kyle Schwarber. Batting second, playing shortstop, Trey Turner. Batting third, playing right field for Philadelphia, Bryce Harper. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, second baseman, Luis Arise. Batting fifth, playing first base, Alec Bohm. Batting sixth, playing third base, Bryson Stott. Batting seventh, playing left field, Brandon Marsh. Batting eighth, playing center field, Justin Crawford. And batting ninth, catching today for Philadelphia, Garrett Stubbs. And on the mound for the Phillies with a 5-9 record, ERA of 5.12, Aaron Nola. And now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, playing right field, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting third, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 3 home runs last night, all from the left side. He's been playing very well within the last 10 to 12 games. Let's see if he can keep it going. Let's go, big dumper. Batting sixth, second baseman, Cole Clutch Young. Batting seventh, DHing for Seattle, Taylor Ward. Batting eighth, playing third base, welcome back to the team, J.P. Crawford. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, the rookie phenom, Brock Rodden. And on the mound for the Mariners with an 8-10 record, ERA of 4.18, it is George Kirby. Trident's up, let's go M's. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. '50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40-plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. He's retiring out of the radio booth after this season, so we dedicate every stream to the one and the only Rick Riz. We love you. And since we got J.P. Crawford finally back as a rotational player there at third base and shortstop, that means somebody has to go down to the Tacoma Rainiers, and that is Leo Rivas. Will we see Leo, back on the team before the season is over? There's always a chance. Obviously we've had a lot of injuries, but again, Leo definitely did well in his limited action with the Mariners, and hopefully he ends up doing well for Tacoma and is on standby because at any moment we may have to call him back up. And as we know at the moment, a few games going on. Obviously, the Astros and Yankees are knotted up at 6. Go Yankees. Hopefully, they can end up beating the Astros. And then the last time I checked, the White Sox were ahead 9-4 over the Rangers. So hopefully, we get the White Sox and the Yankees to help us out to be able to beat up the Astros and the Rangers, and that'll get us, one win closer to where we're trying to be. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Fantastic win yesterday, ending the 9-game win streak of the Philadelphia Phillies. That was number 1 in baseball. And again, home runs by Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh early on. 2 more home runs after that first inning. Cole Clutch Young got off the schneid as well, and patience in the box is the key. We ended up winning 9-2, and we just got to hope that George Kirby doesn't give up 5 runs or more. And if we can end up having George give up 3 or less, and we can hit 5 to 8 runs, we should have a very good chance of winning this particular game. But remember, George has been kind of like Bryce Miller. Those are our 2 worst pitchers at the moment. You got Logan Gilbert at the top. Cade Anderson looked pretty good, sitting at probably at number 2. Then you got Emerson Hancock at 3, Woo at 4. Woo will be starting tomorrow, so that's good. The shoulder is feeling good. And then Kirby is 5 and Miller is 6. So, we just got to hope that, Kirby can pitch like he did right before the trade deadline, where there was rumors where maybe we would move Emerson Hancock, maybe we would move George Kirby, and then he put out a really great performance. We're going to need a performance like that here tonight. And again, doing it at home is going to be a lot easier than winning in Philadelphia. Facts. Golf in the building. What's good? C in the building. Power code all day. Daniel, Julie's in the building. I see you guys. Angry's in the building. Let's get it. Brett's in the building. Barbara, I see you. Let's go. Jace, I see you. All right, Mariner Moose, we're going to need you early and often. Hopefully we get some good production out of J.P. Crawford. Hopefully he doesn't go 0 for 4. Can at least get 1 hit and get walked once. And hopefully no errors at third base. Astros just took the lead on the Yankees in the 8th. Hopefully the Yankees can rally. All right, first pitch from Kirby to Schwarber. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. 4-seam fastball. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Another 4-seam fastball. And again, when you're going to be able to hit, 95 to 98 miles an hour, you got to be careful when you're going against a guy like Kyle Schwarber with those Schwarber bombs. So we just got to be able to hope that, we can limit the damage, so to speak. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Schwarber. One-two pitch, high and away, as that knuckle curve went low and at the knees. And then the next pitch, high and away. Got to be able to paint the strike zone on the corners. And again, got to be very careful here. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. There we go. Great start there for George Kirby. Down goes Schwarber. And this version of Furious George, we hopefully can get it. Nice job there by Kirby, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is Trey Turner. First pitch in Turner for a strike, 0-1 count. On deck is Bryce Harper. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss, 99 miles an hour. And we've been able to see, a few of our pitchers this season kind of top off on high-end velocity that we haven't seen really before. Bryce Miller, when he started off, in those first 3 games, hitting in the 98, 99 range. And we've also seen Gilbert, with, 10, 12, 13 pitches, hitting that 98, 99 range. And even Kirby here early on touching 98, 99 miles an hour. Obviously, we don't expect them to keep that up for the distance, but at least for the first couple innings, a good sign to see. Pitch fouled off. Big swing and a miss on an 0-2 pitch. Sweeper decides to kind of pump the brakes a little bit with a little bit of touch with the sweeper, going from 98, 99 with 4-seam fastballs. Sweeper at 90, fooling Trey Turner, and that is 2 away. Great start here by George Kirby. Next up is Bryce Harper. On deck is Luis Ariz, and we know George has given up 5 runs in the first inning, pretty often. So we just got to be able to hope, we get a good version of George. First 2 batters, getting out Schwarber and Turner is a good sign. And again, hopefully he gives up 3 runs or less, preferably 2 or less. But when you have a guy like Miller that's been giving up 5 to 8 runs lately, 3 is fine as long as the offense does their job. 1-0 pitch and a little line drive. Blooper goes into right field off a 3-hopper into Dominic Canzone's glove, and Bryce Harper is on with a single. Next up is Luis Ariz. On deck is Alec Bohm. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Jonah in the building. What's good? And Ariz crushes the first pitch. Deep right field. Back to the wall. Wow, Dominic Canzone robbing a homer. Unbelievable. And Ariz usually doesn't go after the first pitch often. And again, he did it yesterday and popped up, and we got a pop-up there. And it looks like it wouldn't have been a homer, but it probably would have been a double, as I'm seeing the replay there. And it could have been a double off the wall, easily scoring Bryce Harper, but great defense there by the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Kirby breathing a sigh of relief, and we have a 0-0 game. And it's been a minute since George has had a 0 after he's left the mound. Great job by George Kirby. Next up, leading off for the Mariners, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second in the 2-hole fielder, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Great grab there off the wall. And batting third, center fielder, it's J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. And if we can continue to get some good at-bats out of Dom, as well as Cole Clutch Young, we're only a few batters away, with Cal, Cole Clutch Young, and Dominic Canzone. And we're going to have 5 guys that are going to end up hitting 20 home runs or more. And again, we're going to need our guys to get hot as we're going on this last stretch to make the playoffs. Try to ends up. Let's go M's. 88 subs to go to 24,700, 388 to 25,000. Shout out to our female audience, our new subs, our regulars, our mods, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Looking for our first dono on our dono train as we transition into the bottom of the first. And let's see where we're at on the likes here early on. And we're at 29 likes, 71 to go. And first pitch to Randy Arozarena, hard hit ball, deep right field, but caught by Bryce Harper. And that is 1 away. Down goes Randy Arozarena on a pop-up into right. Next up is the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. And he's on home run number 19. So if he's patient in the box and can get to pitch 3 through 7, that's where that home run swing typically will be. On deck is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch right down the middle from Nola to Dominic Canzone, 0-1 count. Shout out to SCG for earning mod status last night. Obviously has been coming through on the big $100 dono train support. more than on one occasion. And rest in peace to Dolly Parton, a musical icon and legend. Pitch fouled off, first base and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Nola to Canzone. First look, it looked like it was going to be a homer, but as they showed the replay right before the commercial break, it would have hit like the middle of the wall. So it still probably would have ended up being a double and scoring Bryce from first. So still, robbing a double or robbing a home run, that would have ended up bringing in a run. We'll take it. Anything that's going to be positive, against this Philadelphia powerhouse. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Knuckle curve, 79 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Aaron Nola to Dominic Canzone. Rebecca in the building. How are you? Brett and Jason in the building. I see you. 1-2 pitch, low and away. Knuckle curve, 79 miles an hour there from Aaron Nola. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Nola to Canzone. And again, Nola has been struggling this season as well, like George Kirby. So it's kind of an even matchup as far as pitchers. Both have name recognition, but both have not lived up to their standard this year. So again, we might have a slight advantage since we're at home, even though Kirby has been off lately. And again, if the bats can come alive and we can hit more than 5 runs, a very good chance that we can take game 2 and take the series. And then we got Brian Wu that will be starting tomorrow, which is exciting. 3-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards first base and out of play. Knuckle curve, 79 miles an hour. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 20 on and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 Phillies and Mariners. And they had to evaluate Wu as he was supposed to start, obviously the day that Bryce Miller did when he got rocked. And it was Bryce's birthday, but that didn't save him. And it's just nice that Wu is able to go tomorrow instead of hitting the injured list. 3-2 pitch, low and at the knees, sinker 94 miles an hour, missing. And we got Dominic Canzone at first base. Let's see if we can get Julio Rodriguez with a home run. And he hit home run number 20 last night. Let's see if we can get home run number 21 right here. Let's go, J-Rod. And again, when Julio and Cal homer in the same game, we win 99% of the time. And sometimes you'll even get a multi-homer game out of either Julio or Cal when that happens. And we saw Cal with 3 home runs last night from the left side. And that's the first time that he's done that in his career. It's a beautiful thing to see that guy heat up. And if Cal continues to heat up, that could be one of the differences between us, making the playoffs or not making it. It's going to come down to the wire. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Nola to Rodriguez. If we can just get all of our pitchers, to be able to be a little bit more consistent, and we can get our hitters to be patient and go through, ball 3 through 7. Those are going to be the pitches that you're going to be able to exploit. 2-0 pitch, high and away, and now we got a 3-0 count. And again, not only by being patient in the box, you can get on with walks. It draws the pitch count up, to make that guy a little bit more nervous, and he may end up, throwing some pitches that could end up leaving the yard. And again, if you swing at the first 2, you're never going to get on with a walk, more than likely. Unless you're able to battle back from an 0-2 count and force 4 straight balls, which is possible, but very difficult. 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike from Aaron Nola to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. And it shows you if you got patient in the box, with these guys that have been pressing lately, Dom, Julio, and Cole Young, and all 3 responded yesterday with big hits. 3-2 pitch, little dribbler towards third base and out of play. And you can't rely on just one guy every game. Even though Randy has been the most consistent hitter, on the team, that doesn't mean that he's going to homer every night. That doesn't mean that he's going to go 2 for 4 or better every night. So we're going to need others to be able to step up. But we do appreciate Randy's consistency in the box. 3-2 pitch from Nola. And a line drive from Julio. Oh, I thought that was going to go through, but unfortunately, Trey Turner gets to that ball just in time, and that is 2 away. Good patient at bat for Julio, but it just didn't work out there. Next up in the 4-hole, first baseman Josh Naylor. On deck is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And again, we're going to have 5 guys with 20 home runs or more. And the one guy that you're a little probably surprised that his numbers are so low, homer-wise, is Naylor. He's only got 10. You know, you would assume that he would be in the 15 to 19 range at this point. So hasn't really been hitting the long ball, obviously, as much as, you would have expected. But still, there is time for him to get to that, 15 to 18 range before the season is over. A 1 pitch from Nola to Naylor, and stolen bag attempt and safe. Dom going in feet first instead of head first. Great job. And he is safe. Great job there by Dominic Canzone. And if he would have went, feet first, he would have been out. So a great job there by going feet first instead of head first. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner in scoring position. Dominic Canzone with Josh Naylor in the box, battling a pitcher's 0-2 count. And Naylor calls time. Let's go. O2 pitch to Naylor, and a little dribbler towards first base and out of play. And I'm very happy that Naylor, didn't hit the injured list, after sliding head first, maybe taking a step too soon, going into the dirt, and then sliding right into Trey Turner's, knee. And, that could have been really, really bad considering all the injuries that we've had this year. Had some treatment done before the game, and great to see him. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss on that knuckle curve, 78 miles an hour. We leave a runner stranded, Dom at second. And now let's go to the top of the second inning with the game still knotted up at 0. All right, let's go to the top of the second inning and see who's up next here for the Phillies. Next up for the Phillies in the 5 hole, first baseman Alec Bohm. Batting second in the 6 hole, third baseman Bryson Stott. And batting third in the 7 hole, left fielder Brandon March. And on the mound, Mariners 8-10 record, ERA of 4.18. It is George Kirby. And again, we're just, kind of shocked because Kirby normally is a top 3 guy, but there's a lot more competition now with the 6 pitchers. And hopefully they'll, send Bryce, either to the injured list or to the bullpen. Because at this point, we can't afford for Bryce to be a starting pitcher for the rest of the year. 88 subs to go to 24,700. 388 to 25,000, 6.2 to 6.3 million views. Next goal will be 7 million views on the channel. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train. We've been getting some great support as of late. And let's see where we're at on the likes with 153 in the room. Should be about halfway. And we're at 44, 56 to go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our new subs, our regulars, our mods, our female audience, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. He's retiring after this season, so we dedicate every stream to the one and the only Rick Riz. We love you. All right, Kirby on the mound, Bohm in the box. 7:57 in the building. What's good? First pitch, high and away, missing the strike zone, 97 mile an hour, low and away, 1-0 count. And you are seeing Kirby and Gilbert as of late in back-to-back games touching 98, 99, which is a little shocking, but it's all about hitting your spots when you're pitching that fast. 1-0 pitch, popped up and out of play, four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour, fouled off there by Bohm. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the second inning, 0-0 Phillies and Mariners. One pitch, little slow dribbler. Rodden is there. There we go. Nice strong throw by Rodden, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is Bryson Stott. And on deck in the 7-hole, left fielder Brandon Marsh. First pitch from Kirby to Stott, painting the corner, four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And so far, from what we've seen out of Kirby, this looks like a better version, than what we have seen as of late. Anytime that you can be clean within the first couple innings is a good sign. But again, this Philadelphia team is dangerous, and in any given inning, they can explode, for 3 runs or more. So we got to be very careful. Pitch fouled off and out of play as it goes off Cal's mask. Hopefully he's all right. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the second inning. 0-0 Philadelphia and Seattle. Kirby on the mound, Bryson Stott in the box. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All day in the building. What's good? 0-2 pitch. Hop back to the T-Mobile bricks and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Stott. Oh, 2 pitch, little slow dribbler up the middle. And in between JP Crawford, no, because JP is at third. In between Cole Clutch Young and Brock Rodden, either one cannot get to that ball in time. And that is a single up the middle there for Bryson Stott. Obviously, it was closer to Rodden than it was to Cole Young, but neither one could really get to that ball in time. Not really anybody's fault there. Just a good placed hit there by Stott. Next up, with the best beard in baseball, Brandon Marsh. Looks like he could be a member of Duck Dynasty. Actually looks like one of them. First pitch from Kirby to Marsh, and a line drive into left, and a little slow dribbler in front of Randy. Hustle, Randy! And Randy actually with a decent throw to second base to hold the runner at first, and that's one of the few times that we've seen him do that all year. It's just to be able to show that you're trying to keep the runners there, and a good throw into second base. So it's not like Randy is not capable of doing it. He can do it. He just chooses not to. But he definitely did it there. And now we have runners at first and third with 1 out. We desperately need a double play now. Come on, Kirby. Got to keep this runner stranded at third. Next up is Justin Crawford. And then on deck is backup catcher Garrett Stubbs. And JT Realmuto is a home run hitter who's not playing today. So hopefully we can take advantage of that with the backup catcher for Philly. Third with runners in scoring position, Rays 1, Twins 2, Phillies 3. 281, 275, and 272 average. And those are the top 3 in baseball with runners in scoring position. First pitch is high and inside, four-seam fastball, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, line drive up the middle, and it ends up dropping in front of Julio. Runner scores, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. And that's something that George has had a problem with, giving up back-to-back hits. And it was clean in the first inning, but now getting roughed up in the second. Next up is catcher Garrett Stubbs, and then on deck is Kyle Schwarber. First pitch, low and away to Stubbs, 1-0 count. Yeah, but if you remember, George hasn't been very good lately. He's been giving up 5 runs, in the first couple innings lately. So he's our second worst starter out of 6 right now. And the only person he's better than is Bryce Miller, but barely. So It's not like George is a top 3 guy this year. He's definitely, gone down. Like Wu is better, Hancock is better. I trust Cade Anderson more, and obviously Logan is the top guy. Little slow dribbler towards third, and JP Crawford is there, but I believe that is a foul ball. We just got to hope that Kirby gives up 3 runs or less. Anytime, you've been giving up 5 or more, with Miller and Kirby lately, then you just got to try to cut that in half or, slightly a little bit less and just hope the offense can make up the difference. And the bats have been swinging well for Seattle. So even if Kirby gives up 3, we should still have a good chance to win as long as the bullpen doesn't have a meltdown. And that gets popped up into shallow left. And Randy comes up and makes the play as Rodden comes through the screen there late. And that is 2 up and 2 down. Next up is Kyle Schwarber. Can't give up a home run to Schwarber here. We don't want to get, down 4-0 or even him hitting an RBI here, and being down 2-0 or 3-0. Hawks in the building. What's good? And a little dribbler right in front of Cal. Throw to first. And a little skee ball toss there by Cal Raleigh, and that is out number 3. So it could have been much worse, considering how that inning started. We could be down by multiple runs, only 1. So, considering George is our, 5th best pitcher out of 6 right now, I'll take it. And now we just got to get our offense to do what they did last night and get going. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Here as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Next up for the Mariners, hitting 3 home runs for the first time in his career, all from the left side, which is kind of the weak side, even though it is his strong side. He's been seeing the ball better from the right side and hitting singles, doubles, and home runs. But it's just awesome to be able to see that he's really getting confident on his strong side, the left side, and getting all of those homers from that left side yesterday. It is big dumper Cal Raleigh. See if he's got a home run available for us here tonight. Batting second in the 6th hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young, another guy that was been pressing a little bit, let the game come to him, and he got off his little mini slump and hit home run number 16. Only 4 more to get to 20. And batting third in the 7th hole, DHing, a good pickup for us since he's come over at the deadline, and that is Taylor Ward. Try to stop. Let's go, Elms. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 88 subs to go, do 24,700. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train for Paisley and myself. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We're at 61:39 to go. Yeah, and the Yankees were up for a chunk of the game, but it probably looks like Houston's going to end up coming back and winning. But at least the Rangers are looking like they're going to lose to the White Sox. So, again, we're not going to be able to have too many nights where both the Astros and Rangers are going to lose, but it will happen, especially when we get into September. And again, we're going to slowly but surely make up that ground. And again, we just got to be able to take care of business with what's in front of us. First pitch is low and at the knees, four-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, 1-0 count. And Cal has propelled himself to 17 home runs. And, it's crazy. I was looking up, because I'm a nerd, so I'm always looking up like stats to see, has any catcher, batted 160 for the season and hit 20 home runs or more? No one's ever done it. And again, I looked up 170, 180, 190, and then let's say Cal gets to roughly 200 and he gets hot. There's only been really one guy in the last 30, 40 years that's done it, and it's a former Mariner, Mike Zunino, who ended up hitting 20-plus home runs twice with an under 200 batting average, but it's very rare. So even though Cal's season has not been great, he can get hot at the right time. And again, to be able to hit more than 20 home runs by batting under 200 for a majority of that time, it's pretty amazing. 2-1 pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field, back, gone! Cal Raleigh does it again. Woo! Let's go! And that man is hot, baby. Let's go. Home run number 18, and that's the type of stats that I love to look up. How often is it someone can be batting that low but can still have the home run power? And believe it or not, Cal still home run wise is in the top 5 out of all catchers. So no matter how bad people want to clown and troll, Cal Raleigh is going to be one of these driving forces for us. And again, batting average might not be great, but still he's going to be able to put up more home runs than 95% of the other catchers that are out there, even if he bats under 200 for a season. Great job there by Cal. 4 home runs in 2 days. He is heating up, baby. First pitch to Cole Clutch Young. High and away, 1-0 count. Imagine if he ends up hitting 3 home runs again today. And Young, shallow center. Crawford is there, and that is 1 away. And again, it's nice to be able to see our players, that struggled early on, really find a way to, be right up here mentally, but also get the timing down in the swing. And you can definitely tell within the last 10 to 12 games, Cal's confidence is back and his numbers are going through the roof. Great job there by Cal. Next up is Taylor Ward. First pitch to Ward, high and inside, 1-0 count. On deck is J.P. Crawford. And you best believe, that Cal Raleigh will be one of the driving forces for us to try to win the AL West and go to the playoffs. And if we want to go on a semi-deep run, we're going to need Cal Raleigh's bat to continue to stay hot, as well as a few others. 1-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike from Nola to Ward. But I've never really, turned my back on Cal ever, no matter how bad he did. You have to realize, how tough a catcher in a position is. It's one of the hardest in baseball, but also to be a leader and to be able to keep everyone's spirits up as far as the starting rotation and the bullpen. It's like a second manager on the field. And again, if you look at his numbers, he's usually hitting 20 to 35 home runs every year. This is just the first year he got hurt multiple times and obviously didn't do very well in the WBC, didn't do well in spring training, and just kind of got overworked last season. And, the injuries finally caught up to him. But, again, he's still one of the best catchers in the game. And I wouldn't want anyone other than him on our team, honestly. Ever since we, got to bring him up and Julio, they're kind of hand in hand, in my opinion. So, and I think Cal should be on this team long term. And down goes Taylor Ward on a 2-2 count, and that is strike 3, and that is 2 away. Next up, welcome back to the team. Third baseman today, J.P. Crawford. On deck is Brock Rodden. Now let's see if we can get JP with 1 hit today and maybe a walk. Did homer in one of his last games for the Tacoma Rainiers. But he hasn't been on the field, as far as an MLB game in about a month. So the timing may be a little off in the first couple games. Big swing and a miss there for JP. 0-1 count. Knuckle curve, 78 miles an hour there by Aaron Nola. 0-1 pitch from Nola. In there for a strike, high and inside, sinker, 92 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Aaron Nola to J.P. Crawford. Welcome back to the team. Jimbo's in the building. Tri-Cities, I see you. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Nola to Crawford. One-two pitch. And that is strike 3 looking. So Mike Cameron and Cal Raleigh. And Cal Raleigh will continue to, break records, for the Mariners. And, being a catcher is not easy, and everyone wants to, criticize and whatnot. But again, it's pretty miraculous to be batting 160 pretty much the whole year and still has a chance to hit, 20 to 26 home runs. And again, home run number 18 just moments ago. And who knows? I mean, if he gets hot enough where he's starting to hit a couple multi-homer games, Cal might actually get to 30 home runs. Could you imagine if Cal gets to 30 home runs and for 90% of the season he hit 160? That's just insane. But again, Cal is one of those guys that actually could do it. All right, let's go to the top of the third inning after Cal homered to put us at a 1-1 tie, and it's just great to be able to see his confidence back as well as that bat heating up. We definitely need it. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Phillies as we go to the top of the third. Next up for the Phillies in the top of the third, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop Trey Turner. Batting second in the 3-hole, right fielder, 1 for 1, Bryce Harper. And batting third in the 4-hole, second baseman, 0 for 1, Luis Ariz. Trident's up, let's go M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our female audience, our new subs, our regulars, our mods, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. 88 subs to go to 24,700, 388 to 25,000. Still looking for our first dono train for Paisley and myself to hop on that dono train. And let's see where we're at. We're at 72 likes. We're almost there. 28 to go. Rebecca in the building. Trident's up. What's good? And popped up to Josh Naylor and caught in foul territory. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Down goes Trey Turner. Next up is Bryce Harper. On deck is Luis Ariz. Wow. By ballpark the most. Coors Field, 23 three-run home run games, the fewest. T-Mobile, Trust Park, and one other. First pitch is in there for a strike. High and inside to Bryce Harper, 0-1 count. And we got a couple guys on the team, that have the ability to hit 3 home runs in a game. We saw Dom do it last year, Cal do it this year, and there's a good chance that those guys will do it again. And then obviously Julio Rodriguez, you have to assume at one point in his career that he'll be able to hit 3, even though usually when he homers, it's only once. And it's pretty rare for him to have a multi-homer game, but chances are with his skill set, there'll be at least 1 or 2 opportunities, for that to be able to happen before his career is over, maybe even more. 1-2 pitch. A little slow dribbler towards first base and out of play. And another guy like Cole Young, could be one of those guys who ends up hitting, 2 home runs early and could end up having a chance to hit that 3rd home run late in the game. Another guy that has unsuspecting power for a guy that isn't like really a home run hitter per se. Down goes Bryce Harper. Big swing and a miss. Nice strikeout there by George Kirby. And that is 1 away. And Yordan Alvarez getting the, looks like, game-winning RBI for the Astros on the Yankees. Wow, Yordan with a RBI triple. We're going to have our own very own Yordan Alvarez pretty soon in Lazaro Montes. Approaching 40 home runs in AAA. Danny Tartable's got the record at 43. So if Lazaro Montes can lock in, he might actually break that record. And he has a very similar skill set, to Yordan Alvarez, also based off body size and skill set as well. Except Lazaro Montes is a better outfielder. Little dribbler out there by Luis Ariz off a 1-hopper into Randy Rosarina's glove. And now we got a runner at first with 2 outs. We're 3 games back. Rangers and Astros are tied at 66 and 66. Or 63 and 69, but again, it's all about just getting 3 games back. So And is it possible that the team that has a losing record could end up, going to the playoffs in the AL West? Of course, it could happen, but I don't believe it will. I believe that the Mariners are going to get hot in September, and, we'll be above 500 when we win the division, as long as we don't have any serious injuries, even though we've had a lot this season. Sweeper, high and away to Alec Boehm, 1-0 count. No, just the ball, not yourself. Two-0 pitch. High and away. Sinker, 98 miles an hour. Count now is 3 balls and no strikes from Kirby to Boehm. And again, this version of Kirby is a pleasant surprise, considering he's our second worst pitcher on the team right now with Bryce Miller, who needs to go to the bullpen or the injured list. So, and if we can get Kirby to get a little bit better and to get on that Wu and Hancock level, then that'll give us a little bit more confidence down the stretch. And then having Miller half inning in the bullpen or two would be more preferred, unless he goes to the injured list himself, as we get a walk there to Boehm, and Stott now is up next. And then I do believe Cade Anderson will pitch well as we keep moving forward. He'll be pitching on Saturday. And, we got Blue Jays and Red Sox, Athletics. And, again, we play the Rockies, the Athletics, and the Angels a good chunk of the schedule, there in September. So definitely a lot of winnable games, even though there's a chance that we could play down to the Angels and the Athletics, which sometimes that happens. But considering, at this point of, the year and how important it is to be able to win these games, I think the sense of urgency will be a little bit different compared to playing the Angels and A's at the beginning of the year. And I think we will treat them as if we're going at them as a playoff team. And, we just got to be able to put our best foot forward every pitch and every inning the rest of the way, which I believe we will. Now, and there's going to be a time where the Astros and Rangers are going to hit a wall, and they're going to hit, a 3, 4, 5 game losing streak, I believe, in September. So, even if it ends up being a little up and down, eventually by default, we'll end up tying them. And then eventually, if we can get hot and we can get on like a 3-game win streak once or twice or better, obviously if we get on like a 5 or 6 game win streak in September, then we're going to pull away, in the division. And that could actually happen, considering we have the easiest schedule out of any team out of 30 in September. First pitch into Bryson Stott is a ball, 1-0 count. We got runners at first and second now. A little bit of a mini jam for George Kirby. Got to get out of this, and hopefully we can keep this game tied at 1. One-0 pitch. Taking a strike, low and away, four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Stott. And also, I think people need to realize how good Cal Raleigh is at calling a game. It's not necessarily these pitchers that are calling the pitches. And again, imagine if we had Mitch Garver or Johnny Pareda. We wouldn't be doing as good, obviously game in and game out down the stretch, and obviously we know Garver, obviously at times was familiar with the pitchers, but again, can't really throw too many guys out and a terrible hitter. Johnny Pareda is a little bit better of a hitter, but it seems like he's not as good as he was, early on in May when we sent him down. It feels like Pareda's game has dropped off a little bit hitting wise and obviously, calling games and defensively. So, I'm really happy that Cal is back. Big swing and a miss on a 1-2 pitch and got him. Another 2 runners stranded. Great job there by George Kirby, who typically has been giving up 5 to 8 runs within his last few starts, and the game is tied at 1. Great job, George. And again, we're going to need good pitching out of George Kirby and Brian Wu tomorrow, especially if we win today, and we're going to have a legitimate chance to possibly get the brooms out if we can find a way to squeak out this victory here in game number 2. I mean, it would be the most Mariner things ever, right? It's like sometimes we end up getting obliterated, by a bottom feeder and get swept like early in the year. And then it's only fitting we get hot at the right time. And then we have a chance to potentially sweep one of the best teams in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies, after a 9-game win streak at that. All right, let's see who's up next here as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And let's see if we can take the lead and not look back. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up in the 9-hole, shortstop, rookie phenom Brock Rodden. Batting second, 0 for 1, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Sweet photo. And batting third, 0 for 0 with a walk, right fielder, the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Next home run is number 20. And then we would have Randy, Dom, Julio all at 20. And then obviously Cal Raleigh at 18, Cole Young at 16. Let's go. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. $88 subs to go to 24,700. Gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 87 subs to go. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train for Paisley and myself. And let's see where we're at on the likes with 235 in the room. We should be able to hit 150 to 200 today. And let's see where we're at. And we're at 80, 20 more to 100. First pitch into Brock Rodden. 1-0 count. And Phillies challenge. And looks like it just got the corner. Call is overturned to a strike. No balls and 1 strike from Aaron Nola to Brock Rodden. Oh, 1 pitch, a little slow dribbler towards first base. A little stumble. Toe tap on the bag with a flip by Nola just in time. But good hustle there by Brock Rodden. And that is 1 away. As Alec Bohm trips over himself, but gains his footing just in time to flip it to Aaron Nola. And Nola's foot touches the bag just seconds before Brock Rodden. That is 1 up and 1 down. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And on deck, the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. 5 straight seasons of 2020 ball for Randy Arozarena. 5 straight seasons of 20 home runs or more for Julio Rodriguez. You know, we got a lot of studs on this team. You know, it's just about getting hot at the right time. And I believe that we're already starting to see some of that, hot, baseball that we've been expecting all year finally here in late August as we go into September. 0-1 pitch, low and away, sinker 91 miles an hour. Just missing. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. One Nola and Arozarena with a slow dribbler up the middle. Throw to first, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Next up, the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. And if Dom can be patient and wait to pitch 3 through 7, we might get home run number 20 at this at-bat. On deck in the 3-hole, center fielder, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch is low and away, changeup 86 miles an hour, 1-0 count. .0 pitch from Nola, and a little dribbler behind the plate to the Muckle Shoot sign in the T-Mobile bricks. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. 256 average, 19 homers. He's been stuck at that number, and there's a very good possibility not only does Dom get 20 to 25 home runs this season, Cal Raleigh and Cole Young will get over 20 as well. And all 3 of them will be probably all over 20. Cole will probably take the longest to get there considering he's at 16. But again, Dom only 1 away, Cal only 2 away. But we could see Dom and Cal hit those numbers tonight, and Cole Young maybe by mid-September. 1-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. Down goes Dominic Canzone, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 4th inning and see who's up next here for the Phillies. Next up for the Phillies, 1-for-1 in the 7-hole left fielder, the best beard in the business, Brandon Marsh. Batting second in the 8-hole center fielder, Justin Crawford. And batting third, 0-for-1 in the 9-hole catcher, Garrett Stubbs. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 87 subs to go to 24,700. And gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 86 subs to go to 24,700. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We can get, about 20 people out of the 200 plus in the room to smash that like button quickly. That'll get us to 100 and then it'll be smooth sailing the rest of the way. And let's see where we're at. We're at 87. Can we get 13 people out of the 233 in the room to hit that like button and we can get to that 100 number? It'd be greatly appreciated. And that'll get more Mariner fans, more Philly fans, and more MLB fans to get the recommendation, on their YouTube, whether they live in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We are global. Blue Jay in the building. What's good? 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. He's retiring out of the radio booth after this season, so we dedicate every stream to the one and the only Rick Riz. We love you. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch into Brandon Marsh with the sweeper, 87 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Yeah, the Phillies got 5 hits so far. We have 1, but we have to be thankful that 1 is a Cal Raleigh home run, and there's only been 2 players that have, homered in 4 consecutive at-bats. Mike Cameron in the 4 home run game and 1 single game, and then Cal with 3 yesterday and then 1 today. So, again, it's a good category to be in when you have Cal and Cameron together. But let's see if Cal can keep it up. And, there's a chance that Cal could end up, hitting another home run or maybe even 2 more in this game. I wouldn't be shocked. He's starting to lock in. And remember, he did hit 60 home runs last season. So big swing and a miss. Down goes Marsh on 3 pitches. I like what I'm seeing out of Kirby. This is actually one of Kirby's better performances. Just like right before the trade deadline when he thought maybe, as Paisley walks in the background, she says, "Dad, I miss you. And I want to watch the game." Lay down, honey. There you go. Good girl. She found a nice little spot in the corner there on some blankets to be able to watch Dad and watch the game. First pitch is in there for a strike to Crawford. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Little dribbler towards first base. Cole Young is there. Throw to first, and that is 2 up and 2 down. But I like the way that Kirby has been pitching, just like right before the deadline where he thought maybe I'm going to be, traded away, and, had a really good performance. And this is probably the best performance, that we've seen out of him since then. So it's been a minute. First pitch into Stubbs, little dribbler towards first base and out of play. 0-1 count. Kirby on the mound. Garrett Stubbs, the backup catcher, in the box. And we got an advantage today since JT Realmuto, who is a home run hitter, their starting catcher, is out today. So if we can take advantage of that, and anything that we can do to try to get a dub here. 0-1 pitch is high and away with the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Stubbs. 1-1 pitch to Stubbs. In there for a strike. Beautiful knuckle curve right down the middle. 85 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 4th. 1-1 Phillies and Mariners. There we go. All day says we're at 100. Now 100 more to get to 2. Yeah, we got the easiest schedule in September. We know the Astros and Rangers have tough schedules. And JP Crawford is there, and that is out number 3. Great defense there by JP. Down goes the backup catcher Stubbs, and now let's see if we can end up taking the lead and not look back. But I think a lot of us are very confident, in a very bad division. We got the strongest team, I believe, besides the Astros. And, we know Yordan Alvarez is going to do Yordan Alvarez things. He's going to win the AL MVP. But, top to bottom, I feel our team is a little bit deeper and we got an easier schedule. So it kind of lines up for us to be able to, take the division back. And I believe that we will. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning and see who's up next year for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman Josh Naylor. And batting third, 1 for 1 with a dinger already, big dumper Cal Raleigh. 4 home runs in his last 4 at-bats. His first 3 home run game yesterday in his career, and he's got 1 already today. Let's see if Cal can hit another one here in the bottom of the 4th. All right, we're at 102 on the likes, 98 to go. All right, 86 subs to go to 24,700. 386 to get to 25,000. Gained another sub moments ago. Thank you so much. 85 subs now to go to 24,700. And we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Most career 20-plus home run seasons. Griffey with 9 at the top. And there's a good chance, Julio and Cal will match that number and maybe even exceed that number if they stay on the Mariners for their whole career. Let's go, Julio. First pitch to Julio from Aaronola with a cutter right down the middle, 85 miles an hour, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Big lazy swing on the knuckle curve, low and away. And one thing I've noticed in this game already in the first 4 innings, the hitters are not patient like they were yesterday. You got to be patient and not go back to your old regular ways, where everyone is aggressively swinging at the first 2 pitches, regardless if they're right down the middle or not, and you're not doing the team a favor, and you're helping the pitcher out considerably as you get an 0-2 pitch, that's strike 3 to Julio, and down goes Julio Rodriguez, and that is 1 away. We want to be able to rough up Nola, and you don't want to bail him out with a bunch of 0-2 counts that favors him to be able to get easy, strikeouts, either looking or swinging. Next up is Josh Naylor. And let's see if we can get a few of these players to make those adjustments. And then on deck is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch to Naylor, big swing and a miss. Cutter, 87 miles an hour. It looks like Naylor did not get the memo. 0-1 count. And it's like, even though Nola's numbers haven't really been that great, like George Kirby, it's a pitcher's duel at this point with the game tied at 1. 0-1 pitch and a line drive into left, fading out of play. Four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. Way too many 0-2 counts for the Mariner hitters so far. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-2 pitch. Low and into the dirt with the knuckle curve. 78 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1-1, Phillies and Mariners. 1-2 pitch, little slow dribbler up the middle. And Trey Turner's throw just in time, and that is 2 away. All right, here we go. Cal Raleigh single-handedly might be able to win this game just by himself. Let's go, Cal. But again, if Cal keeps hitting home runs at this rapid pace, they're going to start intentionally walking him, at some point. Maybe not in this game, but, if he starts getting really, really hot, they may start treating him, like Yordan Alvarez and, PCA and Shohei Ohtani, guys like that, based on, getting hot at the right time, even though he has been batting, 160 for a good chunk of the year. .1-0 pitch, low and away, changeup, 88 miles an hour, missing there by Aaron Nola. Good patience for Cal Raleigh at this at-bat instead of swinging at those pitches off the plate. 2-0 count, much better than a 0-2 count. Come on, Cal. 2-0 pitch from Nola, low and away. And you can kind of see the strategy now after Cal has hit 4 home runs in his last 4 at-bats. They're not throwing down the middle anymore. They're throwing low and away to see if he chases. 3 balls and no strikes to Cal Raleigh. 3-0 pitch. And Cal pops it up and fading out of play. Four-seam fastball there by Aaron Nola right down the middle. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, we're tied at 1. Yeah, as long as Wu's shoulder holds up, it should be pretty fun tomorrow. 3-1 pitch, high and inside. That's ball 4, but we're getting a challenge here from Stubbs, the backup catcher, and this might have touched the corner. Let's take a look if it did. Hopefully not, but yep, it did. And that is not ball 4, and now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Nola to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Here goes Paisley. 3-2 pitch. High and inside. There we go. We'll take a ball 4. And Cal with a walk. Great at-bat there by Cal Raleigh, and he definitely has been a lot more patient in the box and has been rewarded for his patience in the box with some big home runs in the last 2 games. All right, next up is Cole Clutch Young, who is pressing like Julio, as well as Dominic Canzone, and got off the schneid and got home run number 16 yesterday. Let's see if Cole Clutch Young can come up with something here. First pitch in there for a strike, sinker 92 miles an hour right down the middle, 0-1 count. On deck is Taylor Ward. Come on, Cole. Cole's only 4 homers away, and again, another position that you usually don't see a lot of home runs, second baseman. And again, 4 home runs away from 20, which is amazing. 0-1 pitch, and Young with a little dribbler up the middle. Throw to first, and in time as he looked at second base for a split second, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 5th inning and see who's up next here for the Phillies. Next up for the Phillies, 0 for 2 with a K, DHing Kyle Schwarber. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Trey Turner. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, right fielder in the 3-hole, Bryce Harper. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. All right, 85 subs to go to 24,700. 385 to 25,000. And gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 84 subs now to go to 24,700. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train to get us going. Been getting some really good support as of late, and hopefully we'll be able to have some support here tonight as well. And let's see where we're at on the likes. We're at 112, 88 to go to 200. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our female audience, our regulars, our subs, our mods, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We got a pitcher's duel between Aaron Nola and George Kirby. I'm not sure if we expected that. But again, all it takes is one pitcher to have a mini meltdown and then have a bullpen pitcher have a meltdown. And all of a sudden, you can go from a 1-1 game to a 6-5 kind of game, depending if it's back and forth. But it kind of feels like it might end up being under 5 runs for both teams, but we just don't really know who's coming in from the bullpen. And we don't really know how good Nola and Kirby are going to do here at the very end. As they're getting a little tired, things could change. First pitch, big swing and a miss to Kyle Schwarber. 0-1 count. Schwarber, Olsen, Yordan Alvarez, and Goodman in your top 4. 0-1 pitch, popped up. And getting Schwarber to pop up yesterday and today. Naylor is there, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is Trey Turner. On deck is Bryce Harper. Kirby, little slow dribbler up the middle. Nice throw there by Cal Raleigh, right to Naylor with a laser. And Cal Raleigh doing so many things now. Not only is he our second manager on the field, he has to be able to keep everyone's spirits up as far as the pitchers and the bullpen, and being able to throw a laser to Josh Naylor to get out Trey Turner. See ya later. And that is 2 away. Great job there by the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Next up is Bryce Harper. On deck is Luis Arise. Lauren in the building. What's good? Big swing and a miss on that changeup. 87 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And again, this is the best, spot that we've seen Kirby in, since the game before the deadline, where he was worried that he was going to get traded and had a great performance. But, has been giving up 5 runs, within the first couple innings as of late. And, him and Miller are our 2 worst at the moment. But that doesn't mean that Kirby can't get to the Wu Hancock level. And then hopefully, we can have some consistency with Logan Gilbert, Cade Anderson, and at least 1 or 2 others. But they definitely need to move Bryce Miller into the bullpen. And then we can have 5 pitchers. And then at that point, George would be our 5, which is kind of a crazy thing to say because at times he's been our 1. So shows the depth that we have. And a little slow dribbler up the middle. Throw back to first. Got him. Wow. Unbelievable play. Cole Clutch Young running away from his body and off the one hopper. How many guys would have been able to make that play in the big leagues? Maybe 5. Unbelievable. Just in time to Josh Naylor, and that's a reason why Cole Clutch Young is going to be the starting second baseman in the All-Star game for the American League many, many years to come. Great job by Cole Clutch Young. Offense, defense, he is the total package, and I'm not talking Lex Luger, baby. Let's go. All right, let's see if we can get on the board here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Next up in the 7-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing Taylor Ward. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman today. Welcome back to the team, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 1, shortstop in the 9-hole, Brock Rodden. Need to drop a bunt down at some point as well. Out of any of these 3 guys, they could be capable. 84 subs to go to 24,700. Bottom of the 5th inning, we're tied at 1. Well, based off the schedule, they have Cade pitching Saturday and Bryce pitching Sunday, unless they move Bryce to the injured list or the bullpen. But again, having Bryce pitch is not ideal when his ERA is skyrocketed almost to 8. So he's a liability now, even worse than Castillo and Mooney were at the beginning of the year. Slow dribbler up the middle there by Taylor Ward. Throw to first, toe tap on the bag, and that is 1 away. Good play there by Luis Arise. But I don't want to see Bryce Miller on the mound. And obviously he's been hurt and been playing through an injury with his lat for a few months, just like Colt Emerson has been playing injured, throughout the whole year and then ended up having surgery. And that's season ending for him. But again, you're not helping the team if you're injured and you're pitching terrible. We need to be able to go on a run, and having Bryce Miller as a starter would definitely not be ideal if we're trying to make the playoffs and win the division. But he could still help the team if he goes to the bullpen and he can pitch a half inning. At least if he pitches a half inning or 2 innings, then he might actually be able to pitch well. But anything over 3 innings, he obviously can't do. And we would have said the same thing if we would have kept Luis Castillo. Move him to the pen, have him pitch a half inning or 2, and then that way he can at least be an asset instead of a liability. 0-1 pitch, high and inside to J.P. Crawford with a cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike from Aaron Nola to J.P. Crawford. And you don't want anyone piggybacking off Cade. Cade needs to be able to pitch by himself. You don't want to, have someone that shitty go after him, They should just not even think about piggybacking. It's a very clear decision. Send Bryce Miller to the injured list or send him to the bullpen. That's it. Those are the 2 options. Hard hit ball by JP, deep right field, back, and foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Two pitch. That was a part of it, with Wu in the shoulder. He was getting pretty close, and there was kind of a timetable that they were planning on calling him up very shortly around that range. But obviously with the Wu shoulder injury, even though Wu will be pitching tomorrow, but he was supposed to pitch on Bryce's birthday on that start, and then they had to push him out a little bit. But yeah, that was part of it, of the Wu injury, and then said, we need to call him up now. And, and I do believe at this point, he gives us, a really good chance to be able to win games. Logan is our 1, but right now I think Cade is our 2, and then Hancock probably our 3, Wu 4, and then obviously, Kirby 5, Miller 6. But, things can change week to week. 3-2 pitch, a little slow dribbler by JP towards first, toe tap on the bag there, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Next up is Brock Rodden. On deck is Randy Arosarena. And if we're not going to be patient in our at-bats, we need to drop some bunts down. First pitch right down the middle for a strike to Brock Rodden. Knocked the knuckle curve, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch from Nola. Big swing and a miss on the sinker, high and away. 92 miles an hour with the high heat from Aaron Nola. No balls and 2 strikes from Nola and Rodden. And, Nola and Kirby's numbers are dramatically lower than they normally are. But today, they're pitching like vintage Aaron Nola and vintage George Kirby, which is a little shocking. I don't think anyone anticipated the score to be 1-1 right now. 0-2 pitch. And whoever's bullpen is going to be better is going to win this game. And hopefully that'll be Seattle. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Nola to Rodden. Drew's getting us going, finally. Appreciate you. Halfway through the matchup, you're hoping at least somebody's going to get the dono train started for Paisley and myself. Appreciate you so much. Shout out to Drew. $10 holla. Thank you so much for your appreciation and recognition for all the hard work that's done here on a daily basis. Drew is our early MVP. Thank you so much. Go M's, Tridents up, and shout out to Drew. $10 holla. 90 to go. 2-2 pitch with the cutter. High and inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-1 Phillies and Mariners, and Drew getting us going with a tenor. Thank you so much. I appreciate it more than words can say. And knuckle curve. Does he go around? No, he doesn't. And Rodden makes his way to first. Let's see if Randy can hit a home run and get this to a 3-1 game. Shout out to Drew. 90 to go. And all it takes is that first individual, to kind of get the ball rolling, so to speak. First pitch right down the middle with the knuckle curve, 78 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Even if it ends up being, $1 or $2 or $5 or $10 like Drew, or if you end up, holding the gauntlet down and dropping, 50 and hundos like SCG. So, every, kind of support is generally acceptable, and it's, so appreciated. Every dollar adds up at the end. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Nola to Rosarena. 1-1 pitch, little slow dribbler towards third and out of play. Knuckle curve, 78 miles an hour, and SCG ended up earning mod status last night, and we'll see when he ends up coming in, if we can end up acknowledging that for him here this evening. Pitch fouled off and out of play with that knuckle curve. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Brock Rodden, with 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th, a pitcher's duel between Aaron Nola and George Kirby, who both have not been very good this season, but today they're playing like vintage Aaron Nola and vintage George Kirby. But whose bullpen is going to play better? That'll determine the outcome of this game, number 2 in the set. 1-2 pitch from Nola to Randy. High and inside, 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, just missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arosarena. Let him know, Velasco. All it takes is just a slight button push on the like. We should easily be able to get to 200 plus today. 2-2 pitch. And big swing and a miss. Down goes Randy Arosarena. We leave one stranded at first, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 6th inning in a pitcher's duel in a 1-1 game. Let's see who is up next year for the Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up, 1 for 2. Second baseman at the 4-hole, Luis Arise. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, first baseman Alec Bohm. And batting third in the 6-hole, 1 for 2 with a run and a K, third baseman Bryson Stott. All right, so Kirby, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 59 pitches, 43 strikes with a 4.10 ERA. He's pitching fantastic today. It's much better than him giving up 5 runs in the first inning like we've seen in previous starts. And 5 innings pitched for Aaron Nola, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks, 78 pitches, 48 strikes with a 5.01 ERA. We're at 10 on the dono train because Drew got the ball rolling. Appreciate Drew. 90 to go. 83 subs to go to 24,700. 383 to 25,000. Gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Shout out to our female audience, our regulars, our mods, all of our new subs, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We are global. And we're at 128, 72 to 200. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if we could have had the Astros lose to the Yankees and the Rangers lose to the White Sox. I mean, those are two really tough teams, but, you know, sometimes you're only going to get 1 out of 2, so. First pitch into Luis Ariz is high and inside, and we get a mound visit by Cal Raleigh, who always knows, you know, the perfect time to be able to settle his pitcher down and to be able to get on the same page, you know, with that pitcher-catcher relationship. One 0 pitch right down the middle for a strike. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Luis Ariz. Pitch was a little high on the line, as we see the replay there. 1-1 pitch from Kirby. And Ariz with a little blooper to Randy. Line drive, and he catches it. Thank God. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Yeah. Brock has started to cool off, though, a little bit. You know, he was getting hits in his, first 5 games, but you know, then they, you know, kind of took him out of the lineup and had, you know, Rivas and, you know, a few other guys, you know, come in there. And, you know, he hasn't really been on the same, you know, hot streak as he was early on, you know, but hopefully Brock will be able to get on at least once before this game is over. But definitely started off hot in those first 4 or 5 games. Next up is Alec Bohm. And on deck is Bryson Stott. First pitch was low and away for a strike, 0-1 count. And 0-1 pitch, fouls it off himself, which has been a common theme for a lot of players, not only on the Mariners, but for opposing players on other teams. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Bohm. Drew with another 20. He's going on a dono train by himself. Appreciate you. And that'll hopefully motivate a few others to be able to hop on the dono train and support the channel as well. 0-2 pitch from Kirby and fouls another one off himself. And you can see, oh God, I did it again by Bohm. Appreciate you. It's not easy. I appreciate you very much, man. You know, and it's nice to be able to be appreciated because, you know, there's not a lot of us out there, you know, that do baseball every single game. You know, there's a few streamers, you know, that are out there, but nowhere near the amount that do the NFL. You know, and again, it's a lot harder to do baseball than it is to do football. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, got another punch out, and that is 2 away. You know, and again, you know, there's, you know, Yankees and Dodgers, and anytime you end up doing popular teams, you're always going to get people to watch, you know, and then you're going to have a, you know, a little bit more small market, you know, a couple of Blue Jays streamers, and then myself that, you know, does the Mariners and whatnot. But, you know, again, it's not an easy task, you know, but it's definitely something that I'm always up for the challenge. And, you know, it's an honor to be able to be, you know, the person that is representing the Mariners on YouTube day in and day out. And, I appreciate you, Drew. Drew puts us now at 30 on the dono train with the kind words and the support. The biggest, you know, sign of support you can give is a donation to support someone's dream. And you just did that twice, and I appreciate you. 1-0 pitch, pop behind the plate to Bryson Stott. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Stott. Now, and not only that, you know, I do this all year round. I mean, I'll work on my birthday, I work on Christmas, I work on Thanksgiving. You know, I still have time with family, but I try to squeeze in at least a game, you know, during the holidays. And we do everything here: baseball, NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, WWE, AEW, UFC, boxing, if it ends up being worthwhile, to do. So it's kind of like your one-stop shop, for sports and wrestling. And primarily it's going to be baseball during baseball season with the Mariners, and then NFL and college football once baseball ends and also when it's going on. And then when we have that gap where we're waiting for baseball to get going, then we'll do NBA, NASCAR Cup Series, a little bit of hockey, a little bit of wrestling, big swing and a miss on the 1-2 pitch, and down goes Stott. And Kirby is having a magnificent game. So, I like a little bit of everything, and I know some people aren't into wrestling or into NASCAR Cup Series, or may not be into the NBA anymore. Maybe we're into it back in the day, but not anymore. And, hockey isn't for everyone either. But, again, that's a part of being a fanatic. You got to be able to keep in tune with what's going on in sports and wrestling, and as also racing. And it's just one of those things that I've always been interested in, ever since I was, 3, 4, 5 years old, not just focusing on one sport, but kind of everything. And again, great job there by George Kirby getting another punch out. And let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning and see if we can get someone to get us going here and take the lead. All right, Mariner Moose, you know what to do. We got Brooks Beats, the best beats on YouTube, ready to get us on a nice rally. Next up, in the 2-hole, right fielder, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. He's at home run number 19. Next up is number 20, and hopefully he'll do it right here as long as he's patient and waits for pitch 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That could be the one. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And Julio, if you wait to pitch 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can end up doing this as well. Let's go, J-Rod. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 83 subs to go to 24,700, 383 to 25,000. We're at 30 on the Dono train. Both donos by Drew, holding it down, showing everyone what it's about. 70 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes with 260 in the room. We should easily hit 200. We just need a little bit of support by the people watching all over the globe to hit that like button, and that'll get more people to get this channel recommended on their timeline. We're at 132, 68 more likes, and we hit our goal. First pitch to Dominic Canzone. Changeup, 85 miles an hour, low and away, 1-0 count. Let's go, Dom. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss on the changeup, 86 miles an hour, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. 1-1 pitch. Hard hit ball. Line drive. And just not enough. Bryce Harper is there. Just didn't get it on the sweet spot. And that is 1 away. King Griffey Jr., 9, Seager, 9, Edgar and Buhner, 8, Julio, Raul Ibanez, and Alex Rodriguez with 5. And Julio should be able to have that record. He'll end up having more than 10 seasons with more than 20 home runs. You can almost book it. And Julio with a line drive up the middle. 360 spin, and not in time. Great run out by Julio Rodriguez. And finally, we get Julio on the board. Let's see if Josh Naylor can get an RBI. And if anybody is due for a home run on the Mariners, it's Josh Naylor. He's been sitting at 10 forever. And we got 5 guys that are going to have 20 or more. Randy, who's already at 20. Julio, who's at 20. Dom at 19. Cal's at 18 with 4 home runs in the last 2 games, including 1 tonight. And Cole Young is at 16. But the shocker to me is Naylor that's only at 10. I kind of figured he would be at 15 to 19. I figured that would be where he would normally be at around this time. But, obviously has had some minor injuries, nothing major. But again, he has been hitting much better than the beginning of the year when he was one of the worst hitters in baseball. Him and Cal and Julio were, very, very bad early on. And we definitely have seen all 3 get much better as the season progressed. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees. balls and no strikes from Nola to Naylor. But even though Naylor hasn't been able to get a lot of the long balls, he's been able to do a lot of big plays, with singles and doubles and stolen bags. Yeah, he's not the greatest at sliding in to second and third. He's been kind of injuring himself and having his head slam into a knee, Trey Turner yesterday, or the dirt. But again, is definitely a gamer, and we're glad to have him at first. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike from Nola to Naylor. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Let's go. Throw to first, and Julio is safe. And again, I've been following the farm very closely. Ace Reese, our first-round draft pick, is just an absolute monster. I can't wait to be able to see him as our starting third baseman, first baseman, or outfielder. Lazaro Montes is approaching 40 home runs in AAA. Could be the next Yordan Alvarez. And again, we already got Cade Anderson, who could be the next Clayton Kershaw for the Mariners. So again, it's just about a couple more years to add on a few more pieces, and then we're not going to have any weaknesses. We'll kind of thin out some of the weak spots, fill in, some of these guys from the farm. And again, we also got another stud, Ryan Sloan, who's been doing very well, obviously in AA, and will get called up at some point. May not be this year, but again, the depth is getting better and better. And that's also good considering we have some guys that are struggling, like Bryce Miller. And again, if Bryce doesn't end up getting better as his career progresses, he's going to end up losing his starting spot, to Sloan or someone else. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Julio with a stolen bag and safe. $17 stolen bags for Julio, and he'll get to the 2020 club just like Randy. But Julio's got a skill set where I think a lot of us, want him to get to 30, 40, and then hopefully one day before he retires, 50 home runs in a single season. He hasn't really been able to prove that he can, get more than that 20 to 30 home run range yet, but that doesn't mean that he won't at some point in his career. 3-2 pitch. And Naylor, line drive right over the head of Trey Turner. Go, Julio! Run, Julio! And Julio's running home. Safe! Woo! There we go. And we are challenging, obviously, to see if Naylor is out. And again, Naylor has been, stretching plays from singles to doubles and whatnot. And again, he ended up going in, to Trey Turner's knee yesterday. Ump there at second calls him out, but he looks safe to me. Let's see if he avoids the tag here. And they got him on the hair yesterday as he ended up hitting the knee, but that time he looked safe to me, but we'll see what happens. But at least the runner ends up scoring. So we do have a 2-1 game. Nice RBI there by Josh Naylor. He might not be able to give you 20 to 30 home runs every year, but, he is a gamer. And again, he's the best first baseman we've had since Ty France. And France is obviously having a fantastic year for the Padres. Kind of had a rebirth in his career. And a bang-bang play there by the Phillies trying to get Julio and then Naylor. Julio ends up being safe, and Naylor looks safe to me. The tag, looks like he tries to get him, but looks like that Naylor skates past him before the tag is applied. But again, we'll see what the review crew decides here. Looks safe to me, though. But again, yesterday he got, tagged on the hair of all places. So hair counts, but no hair today. But we'll see if they say that he gets caught there on the jersey or not. A little Soto mojo, baby. Oh, they call him out. Brutal. And if this is the case for Josh Naylor, then maybe we just need to have him take the single. Instead of trying to stretch the double, just take the single if it's there, because in the last couple opportunities, we're not able to get that. Now, if Naylor was a little bit faster and a little thinner, then we wouldn't have this issue. But, faster than Cal Raleigh, but not as fast as Julio and a few of the others. And Sometimes you got to recognize you might be able to steal bags, but being able to run the bags off a hit, sometimes you got to be able to just, say a single is good enough and then hope that someone will be able to drive you home rather than trying to go for two and getting thrown out the last two games. Next up is Cal Raleigh. Is Cal going to homer again? Let's find out. First pitch is inside for a strike, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, high and inside, almost hitting Cal. 1 ball and 1 strike to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And we got Brian Wu on the mound tomorrow. Did have some shoulder issues, but again, it seems like any kind of pain that he had has gone away, and hopefully we can get a good performance out of Wu tomorrow. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, cutter, low and at the knees. Be patient, Cal. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Mariners. Cal is homered in his last. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Cal. Homered in his first 4 at-bats, 3 yesterday and his first one today, but doesn't get one there. But at least Naylor gets the RBI, and that's exactly what we needed in a pitcher's duel, and now we got a 2-1 lead. End of the 6th inning, 2-1 Mariners. All right, let's see who's up next here in the top of the 7th inning for the Philadelphia Phillies. Next up for the Phillies, 1 for 2 with a K, left fielder Brandon Marsh. What a beard. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI, center fielder Justin Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 2 in the 9-hole, backup catcher Garrett Stubbs. Tried ends up. Let's go, Ems. We're at 30 on the Dono train because of Drew. Shout out to him. He's our MVP. 70 to go. 83 subs to go to 24,700. 383 to 25,000, which will be a special day when we hit that. 6.2 to 6.3 million views. Next goal will be 7 million views. Then 8, 9, and 10 million. And with almost 300 in the room, we should be able to get to 200 likes. We're at 145. We get 55 people to show some love, and we'll be there. Yeah, but the thing, it happened yesterday, though, Blue Jay, and he also got hurt when he did it, and he, tried to stretch a single into a double and then slid right into, Trey Turner's knee and could have been on the, injured list, but thankfully got treatment and was okay and returned into the game, and again, I don't mind when guys are, being aggressive, but again, if it's happened like multiple times, sometimes you got to have that awareness, to maybe just take the single instead of trying to stretch it into 2 and then getting thrown out. Because, if he ends up being on first, who knows? Maybe the Cal Raleigh at-bat goes a little bit differently. There's a time and a place to be aggressive. And again, if you've been thrown out a couple times in a row, sometimes you got to just say, you know what, let's just take the single. And then, maybe next time around, take a couple hits and then, try to be aggressive again and see how it goes. 1-0 pitch, little dribbler. Now, if he didn't, try to be overly aggressive yesterday and go in and slam his head into Trey Turner's knee, I wouldn't have mind what happened, obviously, because it seemed like he had a better chance to be safe today than yesterday. Yesterday he fell face first into the dirt and kind of didn't really time his slide. Today it looked a little bit more safe in my opinion, but was called out by the ABS. So 1-1 pitch in there for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Marsh. I don't know if I would go that far. Looks like a star on Duck Dynasty. Maybe you're watching too many documentaries on Netflix. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Marsh. Nothing wrong with having a legit fire beard. 2-2 pitch. Little dribbler there. Throw to first, and down goes Brandon Marsh, Mr. Duck Dynasty himself. And that is 1 away. Nothing wrong with having a beard. Next up in the 8-hole, center fielder Justin Crawford. On deck in the 9-hole, Garrett Stubbs. And first pitch to Crawford gets him to pop up. JP is there, and that is 2 away. There we go. Nice job there by JP Crawford making the play in foul territory. Crawford against Crawford, and they are related. And obviously, as we know, Justin Crawford is the son of Carl Crawford, the former MLB stud. All right, next up is Garrett Stubbs. And Stubbs goes for a bunt and fouls it back. 0-1 count. One pitch. Big swing and a miss. Knuckle curve. 85 miles an hour there by George Kirby. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs, top of the 7th, 2-1 Seattle. And I'm really happy that this series is in, T-Mobile in Seattle rather than in Philadelphia. Because if it's in Philadelphia, we might get smoked and get swept. Big swing and a miss and a big punch out. And this has been the best performance from George Kirby in a long time. Great job. Now let's see if we can add on another run and get some insurance potentially for Andres Munoz later tonight. 8 Ks for George Kirby. We have not seen George do this in a long time. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 79 pitches, 59 strikes, and his ERA is 4.04. Keeps pitching like this, his ERA will be in the 3s, and with a couple more punch outs, he'll have double digits. Let's go. I mean, assuming that they still keep him in. But with the pitch count, you would assume so. All right, next up, 0 for 2. We had a home run last night for number 16 on the year, my favorite player on the team, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, DHing Taylor Ward. Let's go, Taylor. Draw a walk, drop a bunt down, or see if you can get a single. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, third baseman J.P. Crawford. Welcome back to the team. So at the bottom of the 7th inning, 2-1 Seattle. We're at 30 on the Dono train because of Drew, 70 to go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube, and we're at 149 on the likes, 51 to hit our goal. Bash in the building, what's good? Michael's liking what he's seeing out of Kirby out there today. And again, you got to remember, a few starts for Kirby, he was giving up 5 runs in the first inning, kind of like Bryce Miller. And to be able to see this version of Kirby, right before the trade deadline, when he thought he might get, traded, him and Hancock, we saw Kirby with an electric performance, and we haven't really seen one since then. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks, only 1 walk. And we know Kirby traditionally does not walk very many batters. And he's at 79 pitches. So essentially, he could end up pitching a couple more innings, if they wanted, And we got my twin, Orion Kerkering, on the mound here for the Phillies. You don't see too many Orions in sports. And Phillies challenge. And a call gets overturned from a ball to a strike. Kerkering on the mound, Cole Clutch Young in the box. And honestly, we needed Kirby to pitch well today. Otherwise, we would have had no chance today. And again, same thing goes with Wu tomorrow. We're going to have Wu pitch well, and then hopefully we can get to that 5-run, 7 to 10 hit number. And if we're able to do that and win today, how amazing would that be? Blue Jays and Red Sox, obviously up next, and then we got the Athletics, and it gets much easier in September. Slow dribbler there by Cole Young, throw to first, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Not a lot is going to get past Luis Arise. Fantastic hitter, good defender. Next up is Taylor Ward. First pitch, high and inside with a sinker, almost hitting Ward, has to jump out of the way. 1-0 count. They got Ferrer standing up in the pen, but not warming up. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, but they do have Ferrer in the pen. Oh, and that hits Ward. And my twin, nice job. We'll take it. And Orion Kirkering hitting Taylor Ward, and that's exactly what we want. Whoever's bullpen was going to be better, was going to end up winning this game. And so far it's looking like it's going to be us because Kirby's still on the mound, and we haven't even had to go to our bullpen yet. Here we go. Ward on, getting hit by a pitch and not hurt. That's exactly what we would like. If you're going to get hit, we can't have you get hurt. Next up is J.P. Crawford. On deck is Brock Rodden. And I wouldn't mind either J.P. or Rodden or both to drop some bunts down here. Move the runner over. Rebecca with a fiver. Appreciate you. Every dollar counts. Let's go, Ems. Our best female supporter on the channel. Appreciate you. Shout out to Rebecca holding it down for the females representing the Seattle Mariners. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Orion Kirkering to J.P. Crawford. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. Good take there by JP. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. And obviously JP Crawford got called up today. That means Leo Rivas goes to Tacoma. And, we'll see if we end up seeing Leo again. But Leo did well. And JP with a bunt. So it looks like he got my message, but it ends up going behind the plate and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirkering to Crawford. And now you're not going to see him bunt with 2 strikes. So now you just got to go for either drawing the walk or hopefully getting on with a single. Because he's a regular, not like yourself, and he comes through and does what you're supposed to do as an opposing fan. And a line drive up the middle, and J.P. Crawford ends up getting the hit. And now we got runners at first and third with 1 out. You can be a fan of another team and still be a good part of this channel. Like we saw Jordan yesterday, one of our best fans that's a Red fan and, one of our top guys on the channel. And again, even though he's not a Mariner fan, he'll still end up supporting, liking, and sharing and dropping donos. And, Blue Jay is another one of those guys as well. So obviously we had our rivalry last season, and obviously we will moving forward. But, not every individual that roots for another team, is going to be, a fit on this channel. Some people are going to be a fit and they're going to be here forever, and others will get booted right away. So. And now we got runners at first and third with 1 out. And it's always nice to have people like Blue Jay, and like Jordan, representing the Blue Jays and the Reds, kind of give us a perspective on what's going on with those teams, and also seeing what's going on here. I mean, we do have one of the best, not just baseball channels, but sports channels on YouTube. So, it's not going to be just the teams that I root for and the fans that root for that team, that are going to be a part of this channel. And Rodden shows bunt, pulls back. So at least he got the message as well. 1-0 count. We got runners at first and third with 1 out. And again, if Rodden can drop the bunt down, we might be able to get the runner scoring from third because nobody practices bunting defense. And he drops the bunt down and goes towards third and foul. Now, if you're going to drop the bunt down, right, and you're trying to get that runner to score from third, you got to drop it towards first base, not towards third. If you drop it towards third, the guy is going to get thrown out more times than not by the third baseman. But again, it's baseball IQ. You either understand, if you're trying to score the runner from third, you're not dropping it towards him. You're dropping it in the opposite direction. It's either you got the baseball IQ or you don't. 1-1 pitch, and it goes into the dirt. And a good save there by Stubbs, cradling it into the dirt. Now, can you drop a bunt towards third base and have it be fair and still score the runner from third? Of course, but you're making it a lot harder, if you're doing it that route, and you have a higher chance of getting, tossed out at home, especially from that third baseman, or potentially the pitcher if he can get to it. 2-1 pitch, high and away. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike with runners on the corners at first and third and 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, Mariners hanging on with a 1-run lead, but we would love to have this get extended to 3-1, 4-1, or 5-1. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 3-1 pitch and a walk, baby. Bases loaded. Let's go for guess who? Randy Rosarina. Let's go. Is it Grand Salami time? Let's go, Randy. Single, double, triple, home run. I mean, even taking a walk to bring the runner from third in. He hasn't gotten a hit in the series yet. So again, we know how great he was in the previous series. Hitting a home run on the first pitch, robbing a home run, walk-off home run in the Randy Arozarena game, in Kate Anderson's debut, kind of overshadowing Kate slightly in that game, as we know. But let's see if Randy can get his first hit in the series. 0-1 pitch is low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike, as we got Taylor Ward at third. Come on, Randy, open the game up. 1-1 pitch. Randy pops it up behind the plate and out of play. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour by Orion Kirkering, the only Orion in the MLB. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 1 out. Come on, baby. Even a sac fly deep enough. Come on, Randy. 1-2 pitch popped up. It's in foul territory. It's not deep enough. And, oh, my God, he almost dropped it. Ward has to retreat back to third, so we don't get it from Randy. Still hitless in the series, but I think he'll get something tomorrow, unless he gets one more chance to bat today. But let's see if Dominic Canzone can come up with some magic. He's on home run number 19. If he hits a homer here, it'll be number 20, and it would give us a big 6-1 lead. But even an RBI single would be good enough here. And you got Don Mattingly coming up, and we got Rayleigh coming in, so we are going to have a pitching change. All right, Brooks Rayleigh coming in. And the only Rayleigh we want to talk about is Luke Rayleigh, but, no access to him at the moment. Season-ending surgery. All right, so Brooks Rayleigh, the former Met, is coming in. And hopefully Dominic Canzone can find a way to get a single, double, triple, home run, grand salami, or even a walk. So that way we can extend the lead. We want to make sure if, Mooney is coming into the game, even though we saw Vargas yesterday, whether it be Ferrer or Mooney coming in to close the game out. Obviously having a 2-run lead or more is ideal because anytime when we have a 1-run lead or we're tied and Mooney comes in, sometimes he gives up a run. So, but also too, there's been times where we've had a 2-run lead and Mooney had a meltdown and gave up 5. Luckily, it's only happened twice this year. So, but again, it feels like the momentum is in our favor, and then hopefully we can get the big play here as we wait for Brooks Rayleigh to come out to pitch to Dominic Canzone. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Come on, baby. Tried ends up. Let's go, M's. We got Brooks Raley, the lefty, on the mound. And we know Dominic Canzone can hit home runs off lefties. He's proven it, time and time again. Single, double, triple, walk. It doesn't necessarily have to be a grand slam for us to win the game. First pitch is low and away. And again, he's got to get to pitch 3 through 7. That's when the home run or the big hit will happen. It's not going to happen in the first 2 pitches. 1-0 pitch, high and away, just hitting the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. So far, so good. He didn't swing at the first 2. And now let's see if we can get some magic here. 1-1 pitch, Dom, with a little blooper. Pitch number 3. Let's go. Big RBI. Let's go. Woo! And that's when baseball, baby. Let's go. 2-run score, 4-1 Mariners. Let's go. It's always pitch 3 through 7. If you have patience in the box, you will be rewarded. Let's go. What do you know? You end up listening and you end up being patient. And that pitch number 3 has been kind of the sweet spot for the Mariners yesterday and today. It's okay to take the first 2 pitches, and even if it ends up being an 0-2 count, just kind of feel the pitcher out. And then usually you're going to get a really good pitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you're able to be patient. And Dominic Canzone was 4-1 Mariners. And his patience might have ended up winning the game for us right there. But we're not done. And let's see if we can get one more run or more here out of Julio Rodriguez. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Let's go, J-Rod. This team has got a lot of talent. It's just about applying the talent and knowing baseball strategy. Great job by Dom. Clutch hit. 0-1 pitch in there for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. 1-1 pitch. Almost hits him. High and inside with a cutter. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and third on the corners with 2 outs. Come on, Julio. And obviously, if Julio does this, then we know it's game over. Come on, Julio. 2-1 pitch, high and away. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Josh Naylor on deck, and then Cal Raleigh after that. Let's go. Tried ends up. Let's go, M's. 3-1 pitch, and Julio pops it up. Leading into foul territory. Oh, he falls down, but hangs on. Alec Boehm, and that is out number 3. A few lucky plays in foul territory by the Phillies tonight, but not before Dominic Canzone comes up with a big clutch RBI, not scoring 1, but 2, and now we have a 3-run lead. Great job by the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. My guy. And again, if he would have hit or swung, at the first 2 pitches, that wouldn't have happened. So again, just being able to understand baseball and understand what you're trying to do against the opponent. Great job. Against the hottest team in baseball, they had a 9-game win streak. We ended it yesterday, and now the momentum is in Seattle's favor. Let's go. Next up for the Phillies, 0 for 3 with a K, DHing Kyle Schwarber. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, Trey Turner. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a K, right fielder Bryce Harper. Tried ends up. Let's go, M's. And I do believe we're going to be playing our best baseball the rest of the year, compared to the Astros and the Rangers. Just give it time, and eventually we'll be tied with those teams and eventually take over the American League West as far as the first place team. Just give it a few days. And a few more subs during the commercial break. Thank you so much. 81 subs to go now to 24,700, 381 to 25,000. We're at 30 on the dono train because of Drew. 70 to go. See if we can get a few other individuals to show some love and support. And we got 341 in the room, so there's no excuses for us not to hit 200 likes. We're at 156. We got a lot of lurkers in the room, people that are watching but not chatting and not hitting the like button. Do your boy a solid and smash that like button even if you don't want to chat. 44 people, and we'll be at 200. First pitch in there from Kirby to Schwarber. Kirby's still out there in the 8th, and obviously has earned the right to do so. And he's only at 79 pitches, right? So sometimes you want to let a guy do his thing, and as long as he doesn't have that meltdown inning. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. And honestly, Kirby could pitch this whole game. Now, I'm not sure if they'll allow him to do it, but based on his pitch count being so low, depending on if he can have a quick inning here, he could potentially pitch the whole game based off the pitch count being so low today. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike, high and away. 96 mile an hour, four-seam fastball. Perfectly pitched there on the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kyle Schwarber. 1-2 pitch, low and away, and Cal is challenging. And let's see if this pitch gets the corner. I don't know if it did. Kind of looked more like a ball to me, but let's see if it gets the corner at all. And just outside, missing it by, it looks like maybe, 0.1? 0.2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Schwarber. Two pitch, got him. Let's go. Down goes Kyle Schwarber, and that is 1 away. Let Kirby stay. Let's go. I mean, this is the George Kirby that we all know and love, and normally one of the top 3 guys in the rotation with Wu and Gilbert. Great job. 20 swings and misses by George Kirby. We haven't seen this version of George in a long time. First pitch is a sweeper, 1-0 count. Low and away to Trey Turner. On deck is Bryce Harper. One 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Julio is there. And that is 2 away. Great job. Julio Rodriguez in the no-fly zone, as reliable as they come. And now we're 1 out away from going to the bottom of the 8th to try to give us a little bit more insurance. And we'll see what they decide to do, if they bring in Ferrer, Mooney, or let Kirby pitch the whole game. Next up is Bryce Harper. First pitch to Harper is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. And again, this is the best that we've seen George in a long, long time. Had a few innings early in the game where he got, a little bit of a mini jam, not a full meltdown, and was able to get out of it. But now it's really locked in, since the 3rd inning and beyond. Big swing and a miss there by Bryce Harper. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Harper. It's almost like watching a basketball player, hit 50, 60 points and is making 8, 9, 10 threes. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Harper. Let's go, George. Finish strong. Jordan in the building. What's good? Shout out to Jordan, one of our best fans on the channel with Blue Jay. Appreciate the support last night, and great to see you back. And I hope you had a good birthday. 1-2 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Harper. And again, based on having the hardest schedule, out of every team in baseball in August, at some point, something had to kind of go our way. 2-2 pitch. Hard hit ball, deep left field, fading out of play. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. There by George Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Harper. Come on, George. 2-2 pitch. And a line drive up the middle. Diving attempt by Rodden, but just out of range. And Bryce Harper doing Bryce Harper things. And that's a single for Bryce. 15 in a row for George Kirby. And Kirby's at 91 pitches now, so he won't be pitching in the ninth. And he's at 9 Ks. So obviously if he was able to get Bryce, that would have been K number 10, and that's what he was shooting for. And now Ferrer warming up. And we got Dan Wilson on the mound talking with George. All right, so George is done, but great job by George Kirby. Jose Ferrer coming in, and then we need one out by Jose. Great job there by George Kirby. Standing ovation by everyone at T-Mobile. Well-deserved. And again, when you end up being one of the worst pitchers, out of 6, you want to separate yourself from Bryce Miller as much as you can, a guy that's ERA is almost at 8. So now we get George Kirby, in the Emerson Hancock, Brian Wu, Cade Anderson range. And then obviously we got Logan Gilbert at the very top. So great to see George pitch like he's one of the top 3 guys in the rotation again. And again, we'll see Jose Ferrer coming in here momentarily. Great job there by George Kirby. One of the best games that he's had all year. All right, Jose Ferrer coming in. Don't forget George's final line. 7.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks, 92 pitches, 67 strikes, 4.02 ERA. And if he keeps pitching like that, his ERA will be in the mid-3s sooner than later. And now we're going to bring in Jose Ferrer. And we only need Jose to get 1 out, because I highly doubt that he'll be out in the 9th inning as well, but I guess you never know. We assume it'll be Jose for 1 out and then Andres Munoz to kind of end it. Well, we'll see. Awesome. Glad to hear, Jordan. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And remember, the Phillies had the best win streak out of any team coming into yesterday's game. 9-game win streak, and we ended it. And again, a lot of people thought that we were going to get swept by this Philly team, but we're a much better team at home than we are on the road, and we've had a lot of injuries and a lot of issues this season compared to last year. But we are starting to heat up at the right time. All right, let's go, Jose. Mow him down. Easier said than done when it's Luis Arise. First pitch right down the middle for a strike. Sinker, 97 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Jose Ferrer on the mound, and the best pure hitter in baseball, Luis Arise, in the box. On deck is Alec Bohm. 0-1 pitch, line drive to JP. Nice smother job, throw to first. Got him! There we go. And a great job there by J.P. Crawford bailing out Jose Ferrer. First game back, been out for a month. And, and in one of his last games for Tacoma, he hit a home run and made some pretty good defensive plays. I was watching, and great job there by J.P. We know he's had issues defensively, a former Gold Glove winner multiple times, but had issues looking over his shoulder by Colt Emerson taking his spot. At shortstop, making errors and making some errors, playing a new position, third base, but getting a hold of that baseball at third. Great job. Now let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning and see if we can add on another run for insurance. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a K, first baseman Josh Naylor. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a walk, and a home run, catcher Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. And batting third, 0 for 3, time to get your first hit of the game, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Well, they've already said, he finally admitted to the media and the baseball insiders for Seattle that he's got a lat issue, and he's had it for a couple months now. So, Bryce is hurt, and he's playing through it just like Colt was. So if you want him to be an asset, not a liability, you got to send Bryce to the injured list or send him to the bullpen. Even though his ego might be bruised, your ERA is almost 8. If you start a game, we're going to lose more than likely, unless we can score 10 to 20 runs. And we're not the Cubs or the Brewers, So, I think we need to, make that decision. And considering we have Cade, obviously as another starter, and again, Gilbert 1. Cade Anderson, I feel right now is, the 2. And then you got kind of a tie between Wu and Emerson Hancock, and now with Kirby, for that, next spot after that. So, and, I'm very excited to be able to see, the progression of everyone. And again, sometimes you got to get rid of the weak links. We got rid of Castillo. He's done well for Chicago, but, the amount of money that we were paying him and his ERA in the high 5s, sometimes you got to be able to, make the smart decision. And hopefully the front office will send him to the IL or, send him to, the bullpen. Because I think we can have Bryce pitch a half inning or 2, but if he has to pitch 3 innings or more, he just has proven that he can't do it. He hasn't won a game since July 2nd. I mean, do we really want to have Bryce Miller on the mound, with our playoff chances on the line? And I say no. And I like Bryce as a pitcher and a player, but he just doesn't have it right now. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. One pitch. Popped up, and lazy effort there by the Phillies. That could have been easily caught. And I'm happy that ended up dropping. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. Well, Wu's ERA is not 8 or 7, so that's not even an option. There's not going to be any chance that Wu ever goes to the bullpen, ever. Popped up into left, and that is 1 away. But again, it's all about if you know the stats and you've been watching the games or not. Bottom of the 8th, nobody on with 1 out. Mariners up 4-1. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We also got Ryan Sloan, at some point that could end up taking Bryce's job in the near future as well. So, he's the guy that probably has to worry about his spot the most. Castillo is already gone, but, Miller has always kind of been the guy that's been 4 or 5 in the rotation. So, I mean, if he's not careful, he's going to end up losing his job. And then he'll have to go to the pen or we'll have to move him. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-1 Mariners. Ballin on the mound, big dumper, Cal Raleigh in the box. Hit a home run in his first at-bat, 3 yesterday. 2-0 pitch. And Cal pops it up. And out of play. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. Cal only 2 home runs away from 20. And I ended up doing some digging, like I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. If there's ever been a catcher that has batted 160 for the season and hit more than 20 home runs, and it's never happened. And I looked up 170, 180, 190, and 200. And there's only been really one guy in the last 20, 30 years that's batted under 200 for a majority of the year to bat over 20 home runs twice. And he's a former Mariner, Mike Zunino. So again, it is possible to be batting 160 to 200 and get over 20 home runs. And Cal is one of those guys that he might even get to 30 before the season is over if he can have a couple multi-homer games. 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. Considering he had 3 yesterday and 1 today. So he went from 14 to 18 and is only a couple away from 20. And if we can get Cole Young to hit 4 more, he'll be at 20. And Dom is at 19 and he'll be at 20. And we already know Julio and Randy just hit 20 within the last few days. So we're going to have 5 guys with 20 home runs over, which is awesome. And the only maybe slight disappointment is Naylor only at 10, but he's been getting a lot of clutch hits and RBIs, so I don't think we can complain. 3-2 pitch from Bowlen to Raleigh. And Cal fouls it back to the T-Mobile bricks. Count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 3-2 pitch. Hard hit ball, laser, watch your head. And that one, exit velo over 100. Oh, it took somebody out if you weren't paying attention. And that goes back into foul territory, about 20 rows back. Great souvenir for a fan out there. Count still remains 3 balls, strikes, nobody on, and 1 out. Bottom of the 8th, 4-1 Mariners. Dominic Canzone with a big 2-run RBI in the bottom of the 7th. And a 3-2 pitch, and Cal with a walk. Nice job there by Cal Raleigh with the patience in the box. Next up is Cole Clutch Young, who homered yesterday with Julio and Cal 3 times yesterday. Time to get your first hit. And let's see if Cole Clutch Young can come up with a home run or an RBI here. We got Brian Wu on the mound tomorrow. It's going to be an early game, 1:10 Pacific, I believe. So set your schedules accordingly. And hopefully Wu pitches well and gives up, 3 runs or less. 2 is preferred or less. And if Wu is able to do that and we can hit 4 runs or more, we're going to end up sweeping this Philly team as long as we hang on to tonight's game. Not over yet, but it's looking like it. But not over till it's over. First pitch to Young, popped up into left field, fading out of play. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour, there by Bolin. 1 count. Cade pitches Saturday. Thursday we have off. Friday is Emerson Hancock. Cade pitches Saturday, and then tentatively Bryce pitches Sunday. But I hope that they make the change and send him to the injured list or the bullpen, because there's no reason Bryce Miller should be pitching on Sunday. I mean, unless you want, the Mariners to give up 8 to 10 runs. Hasn't won a game since July 2nd, and he's injured. Doesn't make any sense to me. Throw it back to first, and safe. His ERA is almost 8 now. And we thought Mooney and Castillo were bad at the beginning of the year with their ERA at 5. Miller has exceeded that by 2 runs per game. So definitely the weakest link on the team right now, and the lat is an issue. He finally admitted that he has been injured and he's trying to play through it, but you're hurting the team, Bryce. Go to the injured list, go to the bullpen. Little dribbler there by Young, throw to second, and they get the fielder's choice, and that is 2 away. And I know no starting pitcher wants to go to the pen. It's definitely going to be a bruise to the ego, but it's not like we're asking Bryce to go to the pen with an ERA of 3 or less. It's like your ERA is in the 7s, almost 8. So, you haven't won a game since July 2nd. You're hurting the team, my guy. Next up is Taylor Ward. First pitch to Ward is high and away, 1-0 count. And Young back to first and safe. Now, there's a few players that have cooled off a little bit, Dom and Julio and Cole Young all were pressing, but they made the adjustments yesterday and were patient in the box. And, you had good results out of all 3. And then Dom also today. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Baseball's a long season. Not every hitter is going to be consistent throughout the whole year like Randy. So you're going to have your ups and your downs and your peaks and your valleys. But with an easy schedule in September coming up, I assume quite a few guys will get hot. Not just Cal Raleigh and Randy as of late. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball into right. Diving attempt and caught by Bryce Harper. Wow. Robbing a double. And now we got Andres Munoz about to come in. Let's go. And good job by Vargas coming in to close the game out yesterday and pitching well. And let's see if we can get Mooney not to give up a run. That's kind of been his thing lately. Go to the top of the 9th inning. Andres Munoz coming in. All right, Mooney coming in, and at the beginning of the year, he was a bottom 5 closer, normally a top 5, top 10 kind of guy, and now has kind of got back to what we kind of expect, from Mooney. Has made a lot of ground. ERA was in the 5s with Castillo for a good chunk of the year, and, still not exactly where we want him to be, but a little bit more trustworthy than he was at the beginning of the year, no doubt about that. Next up, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, first baseman Alec Bohm. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run and 2 Ks, third baseman Bryson Stott. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a K, left fielder in the 7-hole, Duck Dynasty's own Brandon Marsh. We got Victor Robles moving into right field, and Mooney coming in for Jose Ferrer. Gained a couple more subs during the commercial break. Appreciate you. 79 subs to go to 24,700. 379 to 25,000. We're at 30 on the dono train because of Drew. 70 to go. And hopefully we're at 200 likes. We had 364 in the room. All it takes is just a second to show some love and support. We're at 182. So about half of the people in the room have hit the like button. Can we get 18 people to hit the like button? That's all I ask. And then we'll be at 200, and that'll be good for us here on the channel. I mean, with almost 400 in the room, we should be at 2 already. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch right down the middle for a strike. Good start, and we'll know how good Mooney is. First 7 pitches. That really will determine, is he on or is he off? And so far, first pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Sinker, 99 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mooney to Bohm. Bash with a tenner. Appreciate you. We're at 40 on the dono train, 60 to go. Shout out to Bash. 1-1 pitch, high and inside, almost gaining towards the shoulder head area. Bohm has to move out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mooney to Bohm. Shout out to Bash, appreciate you. Shout out to Drew as well. 2-1 pitch, high and inside, triple digits, 100 miles an hour. But the problem is when Mooney goes triple digits, sometimes he can't find the location, and you got to dial it back a little bit. 90 to 95 is okay as long as you're hitting your spots instead of hitting 99 to 102. 3-1 pitch, hitting the strike zone there, triple digits again. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Mooney to Alec Bohm. Come on, Mooney. 3-2 pitch. Hard hit ball, deep right field, fading out of play. Triple digits again, hitting 100 on that 4-seam fastball. All fastballs so far for Mooney. Where's the slider? 3-2 pitch. That's strike 3, baby. Let's go. They're going to challenge, but Bohm's going to lose this challenge. This hits the bottom of the line, 100%. No way in hell it doesn't. Let's see. Wow, he doesn't get it. Unbelievable. 0.1 off. You got to be kidding me. 0.1. I mean, that's as close as you can get without getting a strike. 0.1. Ay, ay, ay. Thought for sure that was strike 3. Bohm gets bailed out. 0.1 off. All right, next up is Bryson Stott. First pitch in there for a strike, triple digits, 100 miles an hour with a 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. I can't believe he missed it, but again, sometimes that happens when it's 0.1, Hard hit ball right down the middle, out of play. 4-seam fastball, another triple-digit pitch, 100 miles an hour. And he's thrown 4-seam fastballs every pitch so far. Still waiting for that grip on that slider to fool the hitter. Let's see if we get it here on a 0-2 count. 0-2 pitch. Got him with the changeup. Woo! There we go. And that is one away. Let's go. Phillies had a 9-game win streak coming into yesterday's game, and we ended that. And again, if we can win this game, we're going to have a chance to potentially sweep one of the best teams in baseball. Crazy. Let's go. First pitch into Marsh. Duck Dynasty's very own, the best beard in baseball. 0-1 count. Triple digits, high and away. 100-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and away. Changeup, 93 miles an hour, just missing the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first with 1 out. Top of the 9th inning. Mariners up 4-1. Trident's up. Let's go, Elms. 1-1 pitch. High and away. Four-seam fastball, triple digits, 100 miles an hour, missing. 2 balls and 1 strike to Brandon Marsh. Come on, Mooney. No slider so far yet. Just a changeup and mostly fastballs. 2-1 pitch. And popped up into the gap. Get it, Randy. Yes. Nice catch by Randy at left. And Bohm hustles back to first. And that was very close to dropping in between Randy and Julio. Great job there by Randy Arozarena, showing some hustle. And we know sometimes on ground balls he is a liability, but on pop-ups he's pretty damn good. Great job there by Randy in the no-fly zone, and that is 2 away. Next up is Justin Crawford. And we got a mound visit here by Cal and the team. Just trying to settle Mooney down, give him a little bit of a breather. I like the strategy by Cal right here, and again, give him a chance to catch his breath. 11 four-seam fastballs, 2 changeup, 1 sinker. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Justin Crawford related to JP. Dad is Carl, who you may remember, who was in the big leagues a few years back. 1 for 3 today for Justin. Come on, Mooney. And Wu is on the mound tomorrow, 1:10 Pacific. Adjust your schedules accordingly. I will be here. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. Pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Mooney to Crawford. And this might be one of those games like yesterday where we get pitching, right? Bullpen, hitting, and defense all to land instead of just 1 out of 4. We're getting 4 out of 4 in back-to-back days. 2-0 pitch, high and inside. And, did that hit the corner? Looks like it just painted the corner. 2 balls and 1 strike from Mooney to Crawford. Come on, Mooney. Everybody standing at T-Mobile. 2-1 pitch. Popped behind the plate to the T-Mobile bricks and out of play. All right, 101 miles an hour there by Andres Munoz. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second with 2 outs. Top of the 9th inning, Mariners up 4-1 after winning yesterday's game and ending the Phillies' 9-game win streak, which was number 1 in Major League Baseball at the time. 2-2 pitch. Did he go? No, he does not. Check swing does not go around. Pitches outside. Count now is 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second with 2 outs. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Starting to play our best baseball at the right time at the end of the year. 3-2 pitch by Mooney. Popped up, fading in left field and out of play. 100-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball by Andres Munoz. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second with 2 outs. Top of the 9th inning. 4-1 Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Get him, Mooney. 3-2 pitch. They say ball 4, but Cal is challenging. And let's see if we can hit it. Arrow on the corner here. Hopefully we're not 0.1 or 0.2 off. Let's see. Outside. And I think we're out of challenges now. Now we got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Come on, Mooney. And that's why I would rather prefer Mooney pitching 90 to 95 rather than, 99 to 102. It just feels like a lot of times when he's pitching, 100 miles an hour, sometimes he can hit his spots, but other times he gets a little wild. All right, De La Cruz is up next. We got to win this game first before we start talking sweep. We do got Woo on the mound tomorrow, and, if Woo gives up 3 runs or less and we put up 4 runs or more, preferably 5 or more, yeah, we'll have a chance, but we got to win this one first. This game's not over yet. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Brian De La Cruz in the box. Andres Munoz on the mound. Come on, Mooney. No meltdowns. 1-0 pitch, check swing, foul behind the plate and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to De La Cruz from Andres Munoz. But anytime you win the first 2 games, there's always a chance you can sweep. Even though it hasn't really gone in our favor in that 3rd game this year in a lot of the series. 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. That's a beautiful 4-seam fastball, 100 miles an hour. We are 1 strike away from victory, beating one of the best teams in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies. 1-2 pitch. Got him! Woo! Big strikeout, and that's ball game. Woo! All right, baby. Now we can say we're going to be going for the sweep and getting the brooms out tomorrow. Let's go. Hell yeah. Mooney gave us a little bit of a scare, but it shows you, we need to be able to have a 2-run lead or more when he comes in, because sometimes he'll give up a run or, kind of make us nervous, but he gets the job done. And shout out to George Kirby, fantastic game, and obviously things have not been the greatest, for George Kirby lately, but a great performance. All right, let's go over the stats for both teams here, like we always do. Final score, Mariners 4, Phillies 1, and back-to-back victories against one of the best teams in baseball. It feels good, considering a lot of the haters said that we were going to get swept. Well, not so fast. All right, Kyle Schwarber. We're only 2.5 games back now. Chipping away. Kyle Schwarber, 0 for 4. Trey Turner, 0 for 4. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4. Luis Arraez, 1 for 4. Alec Boehm, 0 for 2. Bryson Stott, 1 for 4 with a run. Brandon Marsh, Duck Dynasty's very own. Fantastic beard, by the way, 1 for 4. Justin Crawford, 1 for 3 with an RBI. And Garrett Stubbs, 0 for 3. And let's take a look at the Mariners. Randy Arozarena, 0 for 4. He hasn't had a hit in the series yet, but he'll get one tomorrow. Dominic Canzone, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. That ended up being the difference. Great job by the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 4 with a run. Great job, Julio. Josh Naylor, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Great job, Josh. Cal Raleigh, 1 for 2 with a home run. Great job, Cal. Cole Young, 0 for 4. He'll get a hit tomorrow. Taylor Ward, 0 for 3 with a run. JP Crawford in his first game back, 1 for 3 with a run. Hasn't played on the Mariners in a month. And Brock Rodden, 0 for 1. But really the story has got to be this guy right here, besides Cal Raleigh's home run. George Kirby, 7.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 Ks, 92 pitches, 67 strikes. Now, if George gives up 5 runs or more like he has, we don't win this game. So, again, great job by George Kirby, getting the job done. Kirby gets the win, and Mooney gets the save. Awesome. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And again, Brian Woo on the mound tomorrow. And again, it'll be an early 1:10 start, I believe. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Bash. And that ended up putting us at 30, 40, 45, 55 to go. And hopefully we ended up hitting our 200 like number. Considering we had almost 400 in the room, a lot of lurkers and a lot of looky-loos, but that doesn't mean that you can't show a little support and love, even if you're not chatting. And let's see where we are at. 219. So I'm glad people actually showed the support there at the end. And final score, Mariners 4, Phillies 1. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners. Let's go.